Black Ops 6 has been out for almost a year now, and in that time, I think it's safe to say for the majority, it was a decent game that had a very strong launch. I would say it even had the best launch of any game that we've had. World at War had a total of 5 people who even knew about zombies until you beat the campaign and unlocked Knock. Black Ops 1 only had Kino and only got 5 after beating the campaign again, or putting a code into the computer, not giving players a whole lot of content, and zombies was still relatively new at this point. Black Ops 2 had Transit, which I shouldn't have to explain why that was not liked. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about the map we all forget, Nuketown Zombies, which people are all very mixed on. Then Black Ops 3 had Shadows of Evil, which no one liked on launch because they thought it was too complicated, or, you know, even now we all know that it's a pretty simple map. There was also The Giant, which is a big reason people stayed with Black Ops 3, but the launch of Black Ops 3 was not liked because of Shadows of Evil with the Apothegon stuff. And Black Ops 4, I mean, come on, one of the worst launches of all time, crashing all the time. It changed everything about zombies, and while it had the most maps, more does not always mean better, like in this situation. Cold War, surprisingly, actually had a good launch, but it fell off pretty quickly because we had one map on launch, being D Machine, and then we had to wait almost 4 months, yes, almost 4 months for Firebase C, and by that time a lot of people fell off the hype for the mode, and Firebase was just shit, so, you know, that was also a little bit of an issue. So when Black Ops 6 launched with both Terminus and Liberty Falls, which were received mostly really well, especially Terminus. Liberty Falls was not as liked, and realistically was used by people to just grind camos more than anything else, but regardless, Black Ops 6 had a very positive launch, and then a little over a month later, we got Citadel Day More. Where Black Ops 6 really fell off of the community, though, was the Tomb, but I actually don't think it was necessarily the Tomb that made the community fall off the train, even if the map isn't a fan favorite. Of course, there was Marvel Rivals right around that time, and a lot of people were playing that game, but no, it wasn't that either. I think where it really started was on the launch maps, Terminus and Liberty Falls, so let's go back. At Black Ops 6's launch, everything was going pretty smoothly. Loading into Terminus, it really felt like a zombies map again, which sounds dumb to say, but I think you all know what I mean. Especially compared to Cold War, Terminus had a dark atmosphere that was also a facility, sure, but it was also a prison where our main characters were being held, and Maya's brother and almost everyone else there was being experimented on. The worst being Patient 13, which was a huge Leviathan-looking monster that we got to fight as the main boss fight, which is really cool. It even had a pretty unique wonder weapon, the Beam Smasher, which, while I don't think it's great personally, it's pretty unique compared to anything that we've seen before, which was getting more rare and rare by the end of Cold War. Even amalgams, while hated for being sponges, I enjoyed, and I thought they fit this map extremely well, which again was rare for zombies at this point. However, the Manglers made a return, and I swear I never want to see another fucking Mangler again in my life. Oh my god, Angora Crovy, they made sense, and they fit the map. Yes, they did. For some reason, there was this fucking smooth brain developer at Treyarch that said, what if we brought it back to Firebase C, Outbreak, Zombies, Zombies, wait a minute, they brought that shit to Zombies, oh shit, Zombies Onslaught, like, are we so for real? What a shit game mode. Oh my god. Anyways, Mauer Toin, Forsaken, MWZ, Terminus, Liberty Falls. Wait a minute. They put this clanker into the fucking campaign too? As a boss? As a boss fight? Burn the whole studio down. Just burn the studio down. What are we doing? Why is it in campaign? Why are there zombies in camp? What is going on? Anyways, I'm not done because they still kept adding him in Shattered Veil and The Reckoning, meaning the only Call of Duty Zombies map in Black Ops 7 with no Manglers is the fucking Tomb, the #1 best zombies map of all time, clearly. Anyways, my point is that the devs start reusing bosses for almost every single zombies map. The same thing happened with the Amalgam, which is actually in every single map in Black Ops 6, which is crazy. And what this causes is zombies boss fatigue. Because we get them in every single map, they just seem less and less interesting because they are in, again, every single map, which just takes away from a map's personality and individuality. This trend, in my opinion, is one of the worst parts about modern zombies. It's this idea that more content they throw in a map, the better a job they're doing as devs, and the more a map has to offer, because a bigger variety of enemies just means a better experience because you have to play and react differently to them. Now, this style works in a game like God of War, where you have different moves and different weapons specifically for different enemies, but in Call of Duty Zombies, the only real weakness you can get is ammo mods, which are just there's 2 that you can have at a time total, only 1 if you have a wonder weapon, which is not enough to deal with like 6 different enemy types. Ashes of the Damned was revealed to us this past week, and in the trailer so far, we have not seen any returning boss zombies other than the Abomination corpse that is on the front of the wonder vehicle. And part of me does think that getting this corpse will be from killing an Abomination. However, if there is only 1 Abomination that spawns so you can get that part, I'm okay with it. I just don't want to see zombie bosses reoccurring throughout the maps we get. As I mentioned earlier, the ammo mods being super effective on different zombies bosses is a cool idea, and I think would work perfectly on a map like Ashes of the Damned, because there are only 2 boss zombies at this point, which are the Ravagers and the Zursa. And you could easily make Ravagers weak to Deadwire, for example, and Zursa is weak to Napalm Burst, let's say. So that way you could choose one or the other to put on your main gun, or get one of each on both. Especially since the point of Ashes is for your team to stick together in the fog, the 2 people shooting out the sides of the car could have Deadwire to deal with the Ravagers attacking you in the fog. Or maybe if you're not going to be in the fog a lot, maybe you're going to just, you know, stay in like the main areas the whole time. Then you could just get Napalm Burst and you don't even have to worry about Ravagers in the first place. I don't want to be misunderstood here though. This zombies boss reusage is not exclusively the problem. It is instead part of a much bigger problem, reusing old content constantly. For example, bringing back old perks is just something I keep seeing, and while I am for the idea of perks returning, I do not like when a perk gets reduced to an augment, like Electric Cherry being inside of Elemental Pop. Or what I think is an even bigger problem reusing is wonder weapons. This really started in Black Ops 4, like the Mark II variants, or the Tundra gun, which is literally a snow thunder gun. I will give Black Ops 4 credit though, which is rare, but at least they're different versions of the old wonder weapons. And yes, while still lazy, it's still a different concept than what we saw in BO6, like just getting the jet gun on Liberty Falls as the main wonder weapon, the little ice staff on the tomb, and the ray gun Mark II variants on Shattered Veil. And yes, the variants are different than Alpha Omega, but it is literally the same concept as Alpha Omega. Can we please leave that map in the past? Now, I don't mind something like the Mark II returning as a secondary wonder weapon that can be found in the box, like how the ray gun is in every map, but isn't the focus wonder weapon of the map. I just don't like the copy and pasting wonder weapons as, you know, the main wonder weapon of the map, because it just feels lazy. It takes away from the original map that had it, and makes the new map just feel like a custom zombies map that just threw in some wonder weapons developed by Treyarch, because they didn't want to make any new ones themselves. And let me remind you, Treyarch are not custom map makers. Those guys are goated, and a lot of the time they're making maps alone. I understand completely if a custom map maker isn't able to make their own wonder weapon. I understand if they want to copy and paste. I have no problem. I think custom map makers are honestly better than Treyarch at this point, with the amount of like time and passion they put into zombies maps. And it'll be like 1 or 2 developers, which is so insane, by the way. Treyarch is a whole ass AAA studio though, so they could easily come up with something that's new, especially since, you know, they like using AI now, which maybe that's the problem. Before I end the video, I also want to talk about Curse mode. Cursed mode is the classic mode we have been asking for years now, and I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. On one hand, it's what we've been asking for, and it actually seems very promising, and with the more relics that you can get, make your game feel more like classic zombies, which is pretty much Treyarch saying, if you want to play classic zombies again, you gotta work for it to show us it's what you want. The mode is unlocked by completing the main quest on Ashes of the Damned, and it'll probably be a reward for each map that comes after it. I think this is a good reward for beating the Easter egg, especially because it will feel rewarding to the player, but I do hear a lot of people's argument about it being a little unfair, that the classic fans are not able to just hop in and play. They just have to instead play through the standard experience to unlock it, and there's a lot of casual players who don't want to do that. And what I say to those people is listen, if you really are into zombies, you're gonna do the Easter egg regardless, especially at launch. And if you're a casual player who just kind of likes going for high rounds with friends once in a while, you probably will get the same experience playing casual in Curse mode. I'm gonna be honest. And just in case you are one of these casual players and you just really aren't gonna play the standard mode and you're like, well, I don't want to buy the game because of this reason, I can understand that. And one thing that we have learned that is confirmed is that whoever the host of the game is has to have beat the Easter egg and put on whatever their relics are. So that means that as long as your friend has beat it, let's say you have a friend that's really into zombies and he does all the Easter eggs regardless, just play with him and you can experience the mode right away. And then if you're like, wow, this is actually really fun, I would want to unlock this, then he could just go and carry you through it. And there's a bunch of YouTube tutorials out there about how to do it. It's also a pretty good incentive for players to do the main quest, because according to Treyarch, Black Ops 1 through Black Ops 4, it was only 2% of players were completing Easter eggs, which is insane to think about. But if Treyarch were able to put more effort into these Easter eggs, the best way for them to do that is by getting classic fans to complete more Easter eggs, so they can prove the game mode should be allowed to put more time and effort into it. My personal worry with Curse mode is nothing like what I mentioned, and instead it's because of how relics are going to work. For example, one of the relics is removing armor from the mode, which I like and it sounds great. However, they are just removing armor. meaning it's more like a challenge if you were playing standard mode and just never equipped armor. And if you don't see the issue with that, it's because that means the hit system of zombies is the same as it was where zombies damage scales, and it does more damage the further you get into the rounds. And if you've ever played any type of high rounds of Black Ops 6, you know that not having armor means zombies can literally one-shot you at some points, which is insane. So I'm just worried that these relics are going to just restrict game mechanics instead of reverting them to how they worked in previous games. Now, there is also a world where we get separate relics that are released that make, you know, regular zombies damage cap be 50 per hit. But at this point, we just really don't know. We're gonna obviously be able to test this when the game comes out, but until then, using the information that we've gotten from the blog posts and the trailers, which is a lot of information, by the way, this is just a concern that I have. And it could be completely wrong, and I hope it's wrong, but it's just something I'm considering. I just kind of worry too if there's other relics in this game that will be the same. Like, for example, there's the 4 perk limit relic. Literally, what if they make it so it just restricts you, and getting something like an on the house won't give you a 5th perk, or any free Easter egg perk won't be able to be picked up because you already have 4 perks. And this could really happen with a bunch of other relics. The only relic that gives me hope is the old point system, because that is a literal different gameplay mechanic. It's not just restricting us, it's actually returning to the original mechanic of, you know, 10 points per bullet, you know, whatever the system is. I don't know, I'm a monkey, I don't remember, but you get the point. Like, it's the same as it once was. I just hope that we get that same idea with the rest, and it's not just like, oh, so it's not just like how a lot of like people were playing Black Ops 6 when it came out. Like, a lot of people were playing Black Ops 6 like, oh, I'm just gonna play without using armor, I'm gonna play without using the workbench. But like, realistically, like, is that what this is? Is this just like I could just go play standard and get the same experience? But again, you know, the point system returning means that we could actually get different gameplay changes. And the last thing I'll say about this is I hope we get a relic that removes the rarity system, because that is one problem I just have with the game that I hate. And some other cool things I would like to see is maybe returning a 1 pack-a-punch system or no score streaks, something like that. I would like to see as relics at some point we can unlock. Maybe they're already in the game. I have no idea. We still have to wait till this game comes out. My point in all of this is that Modern Zombies has problems that don't even come from a place of stubbornness, of not wanting change, as I actually enjoyed Black Ops 6 a lot, even if it's not like it once was. But instead, they are problems that come from a creative perspective, from the developers, where bringing back individual map uniqueness needs to be thought of. I really don't want to see Zersa return in every DLC map that comes after this one, especially considering I think Zersa looks really cool, and I feel like he has a lot of potential as a zombie boss. And I would just hate to see this great boss zombie concept get ruined because they put it in like 15 maps after this. But if they do, I think they will be shooting themselves in the foot, just repeating the cycle of Black Ops 6 and Cold War. So we can only hope that good decisions are made, or Black Ops 7 Zombies is doomed from the start. Thank you guys for watching. This is just like the short video that I wanted to just kind of throw out there, because I've been seeing a lot about this Black Ops 7 stuff, and you know, I feel like there's some good conversation to have around it. Like, I am excited for the mode, but I do have like small things I see. There's some other problems I saw I just didn't really bring up in this video. Like the fact that Black Ops 7 is going to be the exact same way Black Ops 6 was, where it's online only, meaning if you're a solo player and you have bad Wi-Fi, you're gonna lag no matter what, which is so lame. And there's also the fact that I really, and maybe this is just me thing, I really hate that they're not carrying forward skins, especially for zombies characters. Like, I can understand, like, maybe, you know, like, you can't bring forward, I don't know, like, your wood skins. Like, alright, fine, whatever, he's a campaign character, I don't care. But something like zombies, like, where I literally have bought in skins for, like, Maya. Like, I have the Scarlet Maya skin, which is, like, it's a really cool skin, and, you know, it's Scarlet. It's a cool, like, I like it. But I also have, like, the Squid Game skin from Maya, which is also pretty good. Or then, like, what about, like, other characters? Like, you know, there's Weaver. Weaver has that one cool, like, Juggernaut. Like, he has all the perks on him. I forgot what it's called, but, you know, yes, I'm sorry. I'll show a picture of it on screen. Like, that skin is really cool. Then the Carver, I love Carver skins. He has, like, the shark skin. He has the affected by the parasite, which is a very cool, like, horror aspect. It kind of reminds me of, like a Dead Space or something like that. It looks very cool. And he has the Pentagon Thief skin, which is so comp. My point is that, like, zombies players, and just specifically zombies characters, should be able to keep their skins, because, like, bro, like, it's a offline mode. It's a PvE mode. Like, we're so separate from multiplayer and campaign players. Like, well, I say campaign, but who the fuck's playing campaign? But multiplayer people, they just don't like it because, I don't know, it's not modern, it's not military or something. I don't know what the fuck multiplayers are on about. They're always on some dumb shit, I'm not gonna lie. My point is that we're a PvE game mode, and a lot of us just like buying the skins because it's cool to, you know, have them, or just, you know, it's just fun, honestly. Like, I like them. There's no reason why we shouldn't get those to return. I know, yes, there's the ones that you get for beating the Easter egg. We're gonna keep those, and, you know, I like that, of course, but I just feel like we should keep all of them, considering. Oh, and I'll never forgive them because, you know, I can't use Rick Grimes. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys, so let me know what you guys think, what your fears, or what your worries or concerns, or if you're actually really have no concerns with Black Ops 7, at least from what we've seen so far. Regardless, see you guys in the beta, and see you guys in the next one.